The video is sweeping the internet. Women and children, not terrorists, not here illegally. They are citizens attending a rally, an event, I should say, to raise money for homeless shelters in their California community. You may not know that, listening to the hateful chants and insults of protesters who gathered outside that event. And that is why the video has gone viral and is sparking outrage all over. Muslim groups who have been working to bridge the cultural gap are planning to take action. Moein, Khawaja, you head up the Philadelphia chapter of CAIR here. Thanks for being here tonight.
Thanks again, Joyce.
What can you guys do about this?
Spread awareness. Our friends, my friends at CAIR California, they heard of this protest was going to occur. They sent out a couple of guys with cameras, and they recorded this, and now it's spreading around the world. It's really important to spread awareness on this. A lot more protests of this nature have occurred, but they haven't been recorded, so many people weren't aware of this. It's happening a lot, and it's time to spread awareness on it.
It makes your job a lot harder. You guys have been at this for a while. Have you had setbacks ever since there's been a kind of an anti-Muslim feeling among some Americans?
Right. Well, the thing to point out about this protest, it was attended by Tea Party and GOP congressmen. And when elected officials show up at these things, they give their stamp of approval to say, hey, you know, this is okay. They might not have protested or participated in the really nasty stuff, but they were there in the early afternoon saying that gathering, that fundraiser was terrorism.
But you know what? They claimed that there were a couple of imams there who carry a bit of controversy with them. Does that give them a right to be upset about this?
Right. Well, everybody has the right to free speech, of course. And a lot of these events do start off when somebody has a problem with an imam saying something. But the fact is, if you look at the protesters, if you see the video on YouTube, which is everywhere, no one's speaking to the imams. They're yelling at 9-year-old kids, at families, calling them terrorists and telling them to go home. And the fact is, those families were home. They were raising money for home, for America, for homeless and women's shelters.
But it is free speech, as you mentioned, whether you like it or not.
Right, right.
So what do you want to stop?
We want to start accountability. It's time for these elected officials, particularly within the Tea Party and some portions of the GOP, to be held accountable. They're putting their stamp of approval on it. And with this whole freedom of speech thing, in the court of public opinion, good speech always trumps hate speech, and that's what we're seeing right now. Okay,
so Tennessee has passed a law banning Sharia law, a felony to practice it in the state. A hearing is set on Capitol Hill next week to talk about, you know, how loyal or radical American Muslims are. It doesn't sound like cultural bridges are being built here.
Unfortunately, no, and it's not just Tennessee. It's 13 red states that are trying to ban Sharia law. And again, Sharia is the moral and value, the morals and values of Islam. So in banning that, they would ban the religion of Islam, the practice of it. We suspect that none of these will go through because it violates the freedom of religion and First Amendment. But the signal is that Muslims aren't welcome there. And with these hearings in the House Homeland Security Committee with Peter King leading them, said 85% of Muslim leadership is radicalized. Muslims may not be Americans. So he himself is biased, and we're very concerned that these hearings legitimize these types of protests.
And very quickly, you got to tell us about the rally tomorrow in New York.
Love it. It's going to be led by Russell Simmons. It's the flip side of the coin, the other side of Americans coming out. People of all faiths coming out saying, this is not America. The America we aspire to have is people of all faiths coming together and supporting American Muslims.
All right, Moein, Khawaja, thank you so much of CAIR here in Philadelphia. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
All right.